Happy Wednesday, friends. Let's correct our workbook. Page 152, subtracting fractions. Numbers 1 through 3, you had to shade the model, strip, and then write, subtract, and find the answer. Number 1, you should have gotten 1/3, 2, 3/10, 3, 5/12. Numbers 4 through 12, you had to subtract and then find the simplest form. Remember, you could do this mathematically like we did yesterday, or you could use your fraction strips. So number 4, you'd have subtracted and got 2/4, but your simplest form answer should be 1/4, or 1/2, sorry. Number 5, you subtracted and got 2/6, and it should be 1/3. Number 6, 2/7. 7, 1/10. 8, 5/8. 9, 2/5. 10 is 0. 11 is 4/12, simplest form, 1/3. 12, you subtracted and got 2/8, the simplest form is 1/4. 13, 2/5. 14, 4/12, simplified to 1/3. 15 was 3/8 of a cup. Okay, let's go ahead and start your lesson. Today we are skipping lesson 12.10 and we're going straight to lesson 12.11. So 12.10 will not be on your chapter 12 test. That's why we're skipping it. 12.11 is story problems, and we're going to work on that today. Next week, on Wednesday and Thursday, you will be completing your chapter 12 chapter test, and we'll give you more information on that next week, but you'll be sent it in an attachment, so you'll print out the attachment and complete it and then scan it and return it to us next week by Friday. But you'll get more information on that next week, but just know that's coming up. Today, let's go ahead and look on workbook or textbook page 406 and 407. So please get that textbook out and a piece of paper. Okay, let's look at number 1 on 407. I went ahead and drew this up here because this is what was drawn in your workbook or your textbook for number 1. And number 1 says, Kai finished 2/3. So we broke up the strip into thirds and we shaded 2 of the parts. He finished 2/3 of his project. Libby finished 4/6. So it's the same size strip as Kai's, but it's broken up into different size pieces. Hers is 6 and 4 of them are shaded. Who has more of his or her project finished? That is the question for number 1. And as you look at the strips, since they are this exact same size, but the pieces are different, you can determine that they did the same amount. So for number 1, they finished the same amount. Okay, let's go to number 2. 33 children tried out for the soccer team. 1/3 of the children were selected. How many children were selected? So 33 children, and only 1/3 of them were selected. So for number 2, we want to say 1/3 of 33. Remember, when we do these problems, it's like dividing. We say 33 divided by 3 equals, and this is our dividing, or we could do the opposite, 11 times 3 equals, and we should get 11. So number 2 should be 11. 11 children. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3 says, 1/2 of the bran muffins were gone when Judy came home. There were 16 muffins to begin with. How many were left? So we want half of the 16. So number 3, we're going to say 1/2 of 16. And it was just like we did in number 2. We're going to divide. We'll say 16 divided by 2 And we'll think how many will be in each group if I divide it into 2 groups. Or you can say the opposite. What times 2 equals 16? And you'll get 8. So there will be 8 muffins. 8 is half of 16. Okay? Number 4. Why don't you pause the video and we'll do numbers 4 and 5. Try those on your own, and then when you're done, we'll go through them together. We're not going to be doing number 6. Number 6, I don't think that you've learned how to do that one quite yet. So try number 4 and 5, and then we'll correct them together and go through them. Okay, so pause the video and go ahead and try. Okay, let's look at number 4. Let's see how you did and what answer you got. Number 4, it said Mike bought 16 cans of juice. He used 1/8 of them at breakfast, 2/8 of them for a party. Did Mike use more or less than 1/2 of the cans? So there were 16 cans total, and we had to look at the parts, right? The denominator is the part. How many parts were in the whole? So there were 8 in each. Okay, so we have 16. Let me divide my strip into 16 pieces here. So to do that, to divide my strip into 16 pieces, first I divide it into 4 pieces, and then I'm going to divide each one into 4. So, because 4 times 4 is 16, so that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, let's count, make sure we have the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I have my 16 cans. Now we want to divide them into 8 groups, okay? So if I have 16 total cans and I want 8 sections of them, or 8 groups of them, 8 groupings of 16, how many do I need in each group? I need 2 in each group. So I'm going to divide this out. Say that would be 1/8. This is 2/8. This is 3/8. 4/8. 5/8. 6/8. 7/8, and 8/8. Remember, if the numerator and the denominator are the same, that means it's the whole. So it asks, let's go back to the question, and it says, did Mike use more or less than half? So we're going to determine, and let's find the half point. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. Half of those is going to be 4. Half of 8 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is also 4/8, and it's also 1/2. Okay? So now we're going to fill in how much he used. He used 1 of the 8 parts at breakfast. Let's shade that in. And he used 2/8 of them for a party. So let's color in 2 more. So he used 3/8 total. So he used 3/8 of them total. Did he use more or less than half? So remember, this was our halfway point. Did he use more or did he use less if we're at 3/8? 4/8 is also the half point. So since it's on this side, he used less than half. So the answer is less than half. Let's look and see how you did on number 5. Okay, let's read it. What part of a farmer's field can hold 1/2 whole corn if 1/2 is planted with wheat, 1/8 is planted with oats, and 2/8 is planted with alfalfa? So we have to look at the smallest part, and that's into eighths. So let's make a chart. Let's draw his field. Here's the farmer's field. Let's draw it into 8 parts. So to do that, I'm going to do 4 strips, and then I'm going to divide it into 2 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's my 8 sections. Okay, now the whole thing is his field, but he divided it into 8 different parts, 8 sections. Okay, so 1/2 is planted with wheat. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side. So that would be half. So half of it is wheat. And 1 of the 8ths was oats. So this is oats, because you only departed 1/8 of it. And 2 of the 8ths was alfalfa. So there's 1 and 2. How many sections of corn can he plant? Well, he's going to plant 1/8, because only 1/8 is left, corn. 1/8 will be corn. Okay, that's it for today, friends. Number 6 we're not going to do, because I don't think you've learned that one yet, and it's a little bit trickier. So we're going to stop there. You only had to go through 1 through 5. But go ahead and try your workbook page, and we'll correct that on Tuesday after Easter. So I hope you all have a great Easter and a weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.